Hey everyone, I am Jean-Serge. I'm a customer success manager at Lightspeed, and today I will run you through inventory management on Lightspeed O series. There's a couple of sides to inventory management, I guess. If you want to really make sure you're tracking your stock properly, you want for your stock to decrement through your sales, through the wastage as well, and you want your stock to increase from the deliveries that you receive. I quite like this flow chart because it pictures well all those different aspects and how they link with Lightspeed. So as you can see in the middle, you've got your stock holding. You've got a few different things around it. And on the left, you can see purchase, back office, and pause. What I was saying before is in terms of stock decrementation, you want your sales to decrement from your stock, obviously. So whenever I sell a bottle of wine, I want this bottle to be decremented from my stock holdings. So as we can see at the bottom, sales through the pause. If I break a bottle of wine, I want to be able to record this as wastage. So the system doesn't expect this bottle of wine to be part of the stock holdings next time I do a stock take. When you do a refund, this will bring back the product into the stock. So that's something quite important to know and to be cautious of. Because if you refund an item that cannot be resold, let's say I'm pouring a pot of beer, I chose the wrong beer by mistake, I can't resell this pot. But I need to refund the item because the customer didn't want it. This will put the product back into the Lightspeed inventory, but I should make sure to record it as wastage as well. At the top, we can see purchase order that adds to the current stock. And on the top left, we can see purchase. Purchase is one of the modules that we're going to go through. And this module allows you to create purchase orders, send them to your suppliers, and then mark your deliveries as received when you get them. So your stock holdings increase when you get those deliveries. So if I receive a 6-pack of wine, I want to be able to record that into the system. So it goes into my stock holding. And then in the middle, we see stock count next to stock. It says replaces current stock. Indeed, whenever you perform a stock count or a stock take and you submit it, this becomes your new stock holding. And that is done from the back office. So we'll go through just a bit of a recap of what we'll go through today. We will go through the back office side of inventory, which allows you to look at your stock on hand and view the amount of products you currently hold, and also perform your stock counts and check for potential variances once you've done that. We'll also have a look at the two different inventory modules that are included in Lightspeed O series. You've got the purchase module, which is the one I've mentioned before, where you mark your deliveries as received. So you increase your stock levels. And you can also use it to accept stock transfers from other sites if you do have other sites. And we will go through produce, which is the tool that allows for stock decrementation by creating recipes or batches. So let's say I'm selling a wine by the glass. I want that every time I sell a glass of this wine, the stock of my bottles go down by a fifth of a bottle or 150 ml. So to do that, we'll have to create recipes. And the recipe for a glass of wine is really straightforward because it only has one ingredient, which is the bottle. But that's what produce allows you to do. So we'll go through this as well. Okay, I think we can just jump in. So this is my demo account. And I'm on the home page, as you can probably recognize it. And what should we start with? Let's have a look at, I guess, when it comes to inventory management, what's key is to really set up your products the right way from the get-go. So we're going to have a look at how to set up properly a few different stock items. I'm thinking wines that you do by the glass, probably, so wines by the glass and by the bottle. What we do for spirits as well, maybe some food too. Let's just have a bit of a look around. So if I go into products here, and I've got this wine here, my 2019 Luc Lambert Nebbiolo. I do it by the bottle and I do it by the glass. So let's start by the bottle. If I click on the cogwheel here on the right, I will be straight into this specific product kind of page. And there's a few boxes that you want to make sure you tick when you set up your stock items. Not that many, so don't worry. It's pretty straightforward, but there's a few, quite important things. So first of all, this one, the measured part, you want to tell the system how you measure this stock item. In this instance, and for always when it comes to beverage, it's going to be by volume because this is a liquid. So we measure it by volume, and it's really good to give it a default size and container. So my bottle of wine is 750 ml, and the container is a bottle. And what's good is you can always check this sentence just below the measured part to kind of check on your work and make sure you've set it properly. This means that one bottle of 2019 Luc Lambert Nebbiolo bottle equals 750 ml. That's correct. So really important to set it the right way. By default, I think at the start, it's just going to be by in unit, but you want it by volume and 750 ml. If it's a 750 ml bottle, obviously if it's a Magnum, it'll be 1500, or maybe you do half bottles. Anyway, you just want to make sure it's the right one. You can put a barcode if you need. There's a few things here that we won't go through because we just want to focus really on the inventory part today. Tags can be really handy to search for items, but also when it comes to stock purpose. We'll go through it a bit later on, but let's say I might just give this one an extra tag that is going to be wine stock. We can go back to it later on. Now you want to have your cost price here as well, including GST. So I buy this bottle for $17 GST. Average cost price is something that is calculated from the purchase module. It's a 30-day, 30 rolling days average cost price. So we'll go into it later on, but it's quite a cool tool as well. Every time you make modifications here, just make sure to save at the bottom. Now, once you've done those, you want to check the accounting tab up here as well. And here the system asks you basically to ask yourself those three questions. Do I buy this item? Do I sell this item? And do I stock this item? And it will be different depending on the stock item. So we'll go through a few different examples. But for a bottle of wine here, do I buy this item? Yes, I do. I purchase bottles of wine from my wine supplier. Do I sell this item? Yes, I do also sell the bottles. And do I stock them? I do stock them. So whenever I do my stock take, when it comes to that wine, I will count how many bottles I've got in stock. So this is all good. And then the last one is the inventory tab here. You can either have this product is made here or this product is purchased. In this instance, we purchase the bottles of wine. You can decide if you purchase them in individual or boxes or crates or packs or cartons, whatever works the best for you and whatever is the most accurate. So for this example, I've said that I purchased this wine in boxes of 6. And then I save this. Okay, so that's how to set up a wine bottle. Now, if we go to the glass of the same wine, so 2019 Luc Lambert Nebbiolo, I've got glass here. I'm going to click on the setting cogwheel as well here. And let's just go through the exact same steps. In terms of measure, it's still volume, but this time it's 150 ml because that's just a glass. And that's the standard glass size. We don't have a glass option here in terms of container. You can leave it as unit, that's fine. This still makes sense. Excuse me. This means that 1 unit of 2019 Luc Lambert Nebbiolo glass equal 150 ml. Now, in terms of cost, we'll get it calculated by the recipe as well. The recipe will show it to us, and we get the average cost from purchase as well. So from how much we buy the bottles, it feeds into the cost of the bottle into the that goes into the recipe, and it gets our average cost price for a glass. Anyway, that's for later. Let's just have a look at the other 2 tabs here, accounting, and it's a bit different here. Do I buy this item? I don't. We don't buy glasses of wine from the supplier. We buy the bottles. Do I sell this item? Yes, we do sell it by the glass. And do I stock this item? No, we don't. We don't have a bunch of pre-filled glass sitting somewhere in the bar ready to be given to customers who purchase them. The wine will go off. So we don't stock the wine glasses, and that's really important. Basically, this setting here, stock this item, will determines what appears in your stock count sheet. So when you start a stock count, which we'll have a look at later on, you will see all the items that are set as yes for I stock this item. You don't want to see the glasses of wine because obviously you're not going to count them. So you want this as no. So this is good. And then inventory, the product is made here. It's not purchased this time. It's made here because we make the glasses of wine. We open the bottle and we pour the wine into the glass. We don't buy them once again. When you set up a product as made here, it gives you a straight path to manage its recipe here, and it brings you into the produce module. We won't click on it now because I want to go through a couple more other things in the back office, but it's good to know. Okay, so we saw how to set up a wine by the bottle and by the glass. Now I want to have a look. What do I want to show you? I might show you spirits. Spirits is a bit of a different. It's quite similar and different at the same time. There's just one or two differences. So let's go and have a look at maybe my Tanqueray gin. Basically, the way you want to set up your spirits is that not only you want your Tanqueray gin, which is the product that you sell, so the nip of gin, you also need your bottle to be somewhere in the products in your product list because that's what you're gonna stock take. So what you want to do, you want to create your bottle of gin. So what I suggest or what I recommend is to always call it the name of the product and then maybe the size and bottle, or maybe you can call it bottle, whatever works for you, but kind of like the vessel and the size, just to avoid any confusion. What we're going to do as well is that we're not going to assign any point of sale category to this, which will allow us to have this bottle of spirit into our product list, but to not have it in the pause because we don't sell it, we don't want it in the pause. So no POS category, you can leave it at $0 because you don't sell it. Oh, sorry, I was just having a sip of water. Then it's the same story. It's a beverage, so it's by volume. Default size would be 700 ml for this bottle of spirit. I've got my cost here, $20. Just the same steps, really. Maybe in terms of tags, I could give it spirit stock. Once again, we'll get to that later. I'm going to save that. Accounting, yes, I buy the gin. I don't sell it. So I do sell Tanqueray gin, but I don't sell this particular product, which is the bottle. I sell the nips. So that's why this is ticked as no. And I do stock it because I stock take the bottles of gin. Then inventory, this product is purchased. I've said it as individual because sometimes I order just one bottle or two. I don't often order cases of it. Now, if I go back to my search and have a look at the Tanqueray gin itself, the one that I actually sell, so the nip, the 30 ml nip that I sell to my customers, I've just called it Tanqueray gin. That's how it's going to appear in the pause. And the way it's set, it's by volume. It's 30 ml this time because it's one shot. What else? I've got my cost price here that's been calculated from the recipe. And if I go into accounting, what we got here, we don't buy it because we buy the bottles. We do sell them. We sell the nips of Tanqueray gin, and we don't stock them. Just like the wine glasses, we don't have a bunch of shots of gin ready to be sold behind the bar. We just have the bottle that we use to pour into the glasses. And then inventory, it is made here because we make the gin and tonic, we make the gin and soda. We open the bottle and we pour it into the glass. We don't buy it. So yeah, that's kind of all you want to. I think that's how I will leave it for setting up your products and the way you want to set up your stock items. It's really to say it one last time, I guess. Really focus on the measured part here. So kind of like all these parts measured and the default size and your cost price and the accounting tab here. Really, I stock this item. You want this to be really accurate. So when you do your stock take, you only see what you actually stock. And this inventory tab is quite important as well. Now, one thing that's good to know is that you can do bulk changes to your items. So if, let's say, you're watching this and you've been using Lightspeed series for a while, but you've never really started using inventory and you need to adjust all those settings and you've got hundreds of products, well, it can be a bit time consuming to go into each product setting like I've just done. So I just want to quickly show you how you can do some changes in bulk. Let's say I want to update my wines in bulk. Little tricky, I don't know if you're aware, but from your product list here, you can do some nice filtering. So I can click on the arrow down here, and I can filter per category, for instance. So those are my post categories. And I'm just gonna go into wines by the bottle, wines by the glass, click on filter, and I will only see my wines, okay? So I just got 16 items here in my demo account. We've got this Nebbiolo we spoke about, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, etc. So what you can do from there is that you can export this. So if I go, is it here? Yep, you can just click on this top left box here, and then click here to see your bulk options. And I'm gonna go export products. If I wanted to export my whole product list, if I had not done any filtering before, I can just click on the cloud here with the arrow coming out of it. But what I'll do, I'll just export those, export products, and click on export. I will leave it as this. The system is asking me to confirm that I'm exporting 16 out of my 125 products. Leave it as the CSV file, that's perfect, and then click on export products. Okay, once it's done, export complete, you want to click on download the export. Okay, it's done here. It's been downloaded. Then you want to open the CSV file. You can use Excel. We at Lightspeed really like Google Sheets, so that's what I'm going to use now, and I recommend it because it's really easy to use. So let me just open one, upload. I'm going to click on upload here and just drag this file. Okay, beautiful. So this is my export. Those are all my wines. And what's awesome is that I can do those changes in bulk and then re-import. Couple of things. Let's just go a bit quickly through some columns. And so you've got your product ID here. This is automatically created, and that's what will match your product with what's in Lightspeed when you re-import. So do not touch it. Product number, you can just leave it as well. You've got your product name here. I could do some change here. Maybe Riesling. It's actually the two-tone Riesling. So bottle and the glass. So I'm going to update the name like this. Two-tone Riesling. You've got your unit here, so it should be mil. See, my Chardonnay bottle here is still at unit, so I'm gonna put mil instead. You've got your default size here, so the bottle of Chardonnay should be 750. Same for this bottle of Riesling here, so I'll just update that, mil, 750. What else we've got? The Shiraz bottle, same story. That should be mil. That should be 750, so I'll update those. This is your sale price. Your tax code, so GST, your cost price. So see, I've got a bunch of items that I haven't filled the cost yet. Let's say my bottle of Pinot Noir, now it is. What about the bottle of Riesling? Let's say that I buy this for $18. I've got my tags here. Wine stock, so maybe I want to tag them all with wine stock. Or actually just the bottles, because the bottles are the ones I stock take. So I'm gonna go wine stock here. Yep, and I'm gonna put it on all the bottles. Okay, cool. Category names. And then those three are really important. Sell account, buy account, inventory account. That's the one, the three questions that we looked at before. So sell account is, do I sell this item? If you put a 1, that means yes. If you put a 0, that means no. So we sell all of those. Or do I buy this item? Yeah, we buy the bottle. We don't buy the glass. This one is a bottle. This one is a bottle. That's a glass. If you put nothing, then it's considered as 0. Yep, that's all good. And then inventory account is, do I stock this item? We do stock take the bottle, not the glass. It's 1. Stock take the bottle, not the glass. Bottle is 1. Okay. So you can do a bunch of updates like this. And once you're done, I'm just gonna go and save this. So if you use Google Sheet, you just go download as a CSV. Okay. Then I'm gonna re-import the file to do my updates. So if I go back to products here, I can click on the cloud that's got the arrow going in, and I can drag this file here and click on import products. Boom, done, awesome, import successful. Let's check our work. If I go back to my products, let's filter by the wines again. What we can see the Riesling is now called two-tone Riesling. I can't remember which other modifications we've done now, but the name shows that, yeah, it was taken into account. So anyway, that was just to quickly show you how you can do everything in bulk, just to make it a bit less daunting, because if you do have to go through all the products one by one in the back office, it could take a while. Okay, now I think we should jump into the produce module, which is the one that allows you to create recipes. So maybe we can work off our Riesling, actually, the two-tone Riesling. So when you go into produce, you land on this page, which is the one where you can see all the recipes that have already been created. If you need to create a new one, you can just click on create a recipe. And then you can search for the item that you want to create a recipe for. You can filter by the products that are made here or purchased, because normally if you set up your product the right way, then you have already told the system that the products that need a recipe are made here. So if I click on made here, okay, those are all made here. I'm just going to search for the two-tone Riesling. Okay, here it is, two-tone Riesling glass. I can click on create recipe. And this is my recipe card. So I've got two options. Is it a made-to-order recipe or is it made in batches? We'll go through that later on. In this example, it's made to order. So I only make the glass of Riesling when the customer orders it. What are the ingredients for this recipe? All I need here is my bottle of Riesling. That's the only ingredient I need. So you can just start typing it and searching it. Here we go, two-tone Riesling bottle. I will put the quantity, so 150 ml. And I can see the unit cost appearing as well. And I'll save the recipe. Now, just a side note here. There's a bit of a bug that's being worked on at the moment. And that's why you can't see, you should normally see here your gross profit as well. And your suggested sale price. So this could show me 75% GP, and then I could update the price, and it will update the GP accordingly. Sadly, this is bad timing because it's not working at the moment, but at the time of now that you're watching this video, it should definitely be working. Now, depending on your Lightspeed subscription, you might not be able to see the GP and the suggested sale price, because you can get that depending on the level of subscription you got, but otherwise you will see it. But it gives you also your unit cost, so that's pretty cool. As long as you've filled in the cost of the bottle, then we know that the glass cost me $360. So that's as easy as this to create a made-to-order recipe. What else could I show you? Maybe also a spirit. So my Tanqueray gin, I've already got a recipe for it. See, it's here. And it's made of the Tanqueray bottle. So it's made to order, Tanqueray gin, 30 ml. and again, I get my my unit cost as well. I could enter some instructions here if it was like a complicated, sophisticated cocktail recipe or maybe a food recipe. I could put some instructions. This one is pretty easy. It will be, pour it in the glass, but just so you get the vibe, and then save the recipe, and it will stay in here as instructions.
Okay, now I also wanted to go through a food item. So if we look in my, I just filtered by my mains category here. Let's go for the ribeye, for instance. Just like for the beverage, you want to have all your stock items ready. So, and the way you purchase them. So for instance, let's say that we buy the beef, maybe it's a Wagyu beef, Wagyu, maybe it comes in 20 kilos packs. I might just kind of code it this way. I don't need any category because it's not going to be in the post, $0 because I'm not selling it. I'm going to go save and edit product, sorry. So just like for the beverage, we just want to make sure everything is nice and correct here. In this instance, I might do it by weight because I buy it per kilo. And the default size of this pack is 20 kilo. Okay, it's packet, whatever. You can choose here whatever works the best for you. Okay, just to make things easy. Yep. Okay, save. Then I might just put my cost down here. I have no idea. I didn't really do my prep work for that, but let's say that this cost me $300 and save. In terms of accounting, do I buy this item? Yes. Do I sell it? No, we don't sell the beef as is. And yeah, let's say we stock tag them, and then inventory, this is purchased in individuals. Now for my ribeye dish, I also use some salt that I buy in 1 kilo packs. So same story, I'll just set it up this way. It's by weight, default size is 1 kilo. This cost me $10. I buy it, I don't sell it, I stock take it, and it's purchased in the individual. Now let's say that's enough for that recipe. That's all I use to make my ribeye dish. Now if I go back into let's look for the ribeye here. If we go into its settings, and if I go, so I do buy it, no, I sell it, I don't stock take it, and it is made here. If I save that, as we saw earlier, I can just, it gives me a bit of a pathway to produce, so I'll just go click and manage recipe. Okay, let's look for my ribeye. Oh, actually, those are the recipes already made. I just want to create a new recipe. Yep, ribeye here, create recipe. And I can say that I need some of the Wagyu, some of the 20 kilo pack. Let's make it simple and say it's a 1 kilo ribeye. So I just use 1 kilo, add ingredients. I need a bit of salt as well. Salt 1 kilo pack here. Let's say that I'm putting 2 grams of salt there. And that gives me the cost of my dish here. So just for like the beverage, it's a really similar sort of process where you want to create your stock items first and then use them to build your recipe. Now to finish on produce, I just want to show you how you can also create recipes made in batch. So a good example are cocktails. Lots of venues nowadays do cocktail batching, so it's quicker to to serve during peak service, when you can just use your pre-batch and pour it in the glass. So let's speak about, I've already got a Negroni recipe here, so I might just delete it because that's a made to order one. And let's just imagine that we're gonna batch Negroni. So how to do that? Let's go into our back office first. Products. What do I need to make my Negroni batch? I need some gin. I've got my Tanqueray already set. I need some Campari as well. I'm pretty sure I've got that already. Let's see. Yep, Campari 700 ml, because obviously what I want to use are the spirit bottles. And I'm going to need some sweet vermouth. So I think I've got some in there. Yeah, Antica Formula, that's a 1 liter bottle. So I've got all my ingredients. Now I'm going to need to add a product, which is going to be the Negroni batch itself. So I'm just going to call it Negroni batch and maybe call it, actually, I'm going to call it Negroni 5 liter batch, because that's what I usually produce when I make my batching. I don't need any category because I don't sell it. I can put 0 here because I don't sell it. Okay, save and edit. By volume, the default size is obviously 5 liters. Might just leave it as unit here. I don't buy this, I make it, I don't sell it. I'll probably stock take it, so I'll leave that as yes. And then in terms of inventory, it is made here. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the recipe for that batch. That will be the first step. So what do I need? I need some Tanqueray gin. And let's say that I need, we're gonna need around 2 bottles of gin here. So what I can do here, I could go 1500 ml, but I can also go 2 units, and that will be 2 bottles. Okay, I'm gonna need the exact same quantity of Campari, 2 bottles, easy. And some of the sweet vermouth as well. So this time I'm just gonna enter exactly the mil because it's a bigger bottle. So I'll just go 1500 ml. Okay, and that's my recipe. Oops, I just got to make sure that it's made in batch here. And see what it adds to it is that it asks you for the expected yield. So 5 liter. And I will save this. And that's the recipe for my batch. Now, when we're gonna make a Negroni, what's gonna happen is that we will make it to order, but we'll take from the batch. So the last step here is to create a recipe for the Negroni itself that we'll take from the batch. So I'm just checking. I've got a Negroni in there already. Yep. Is it set as I made here? Yeah, let's manage its recipe. So this one is made to order because every time a customer order on Negroni, I will make it by just pouring from the batch. So my only ingredient is going to be the batch that I've just made. So I'm just going to look for that. Negroni 5 liter batch, and I will withdraw 90 ml from it. And save. Now each time I sell a Negroni, it will decrement from my batch holding, which is really, really cool. And when it comes to batching, there's a few extra things that I can show you. Prep is one. You can see, you can create batches here. So let's say that, and you need to, if you want to stock take them. So I did mark this Negroni 5 liter batch as an item that I stock. Therefore, I need to be able to make it appear in my stock holding somehow. And the way I can do that is that every time I do some batching or my staff does some batching, we do create the batch in produce. So it becomes part of our stock. So if I was to do a batch of it today, I will just click create new batch here. I'm gonna search for the product. So Negroni 5-liter batch. That's the only one that I've got as a made in batch product. See, it shows me all the ingredients. It shows me if I had entered the recipe, I will see the step by step here. But I'm just gonna click on start batch. And once I'm finished, I'm gonna click on finish batch here. And the system will ask me to record the actual yield. You never know, maybe I've overpoured, maybe I underpoured. So that's an opportunity to just really enter the exact quantity you made. Somehow I ended up with 5.1 liter, for instance. I will click on finish batch. The batch is completed. The ingredients used in the batch have been consumed from the stock levels, which means that those bars of gin and Tanqueray gin and Campari and sweet vermouth will have decremented, but also my stock of Negroni batch would have incremented. So that's a really good feature to use. And then batch history will just show you the history of batching, basically. Okay, now we're gonna jump on the other side of stock management, which is making sure that your stock holdings increase with deliveries, and that's all through the purchase module. So before jumping into the module itself, there's a couple of prerequisites that you're going to need to do in order to be able to raise some purchase orders, send those orders to your suppliers, and then mark your deliveries as received. And the first step is going to be to have your suppliers in the system. So the way you can create suppliers is really easy. You just want to go into the People tab here. And then at the top, you've got users, customers, and suppliers. So that's where you're going to go. You can hit that suppliers button. And let's come up with one now. So you can just click on add a new supplier. Imbimbo is a cool one supplier we've got down here in Melbourne, Australia. So that's the one I will enter. And you have to fill in an email address as well, because you will then send purchase orders via email. So I'm just gonna put orders at imbibo.com.au. I'm not too sure if that's the right one or not, but this is just for this recording anyway. So I'll click on add supplier. Okay, so it's as easy as that. But then the next step will be to, once you got all your suppliers set up, you want to assign default suppliers to your products, just to make it a bit easier. You will still be able to order those products through another supplier if need be, but having them with default supplier will just make your life a bit easier, because most of the time you will always end up ordering the same items from the same suppliers, especially when it comes to beverage. So the way you can do this is from the product menu here. And then we've got another suppliers tab here at the top, but from the product menu. So I will click here. And you will see here all your list of products and excuse me, and the default supplier tab on the right. So let's filter here to get some wine. So I'm just going to click on category and just have a look at my different wines POS categories. And do I have anything? There you go. I've got my Chardonnay here. My bottle of Chardonnay has no supplier as a default. So I'm just going to say that I usually buy the Chardonnay from Imbibo. As soon as I click on outside of this, I get the green banner that says that it's been saved successfully. So those are the prerequisites. Now let's just jump into the produce module itself. So if we go back here, we can click on produce. Sorry, wrong one. We want to go into purchase. So purchase. So as soon as I jump into purchase, I will land on this dashboard, which allows me to keep on top of my incoming purchases. So we can see here that I don't have any overdue or scheduled deliveries this week, but yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a demo here and make some stuff happen. So there's a few different categories on the left: purchase orders, order reminders, etc., etc. I think we're just gonna do them one by one, but the main one is purchase orders. So let's say that basically I want to order some of this Chardonnay from Imbibo. So I click on purchase orders, and then I'm going to click on new order on the top right here. Then the system will ask me to pick a supplier that I want to order from. So I'll go in Vivo. And by default, I will see the products that have been assigned to this supplier. What I could do though, if for some reason I want to order a product that I don't normally order from that supplier, but from another one, I can just search for, see I've clicked on the top right here. I could search for another wine. I think so. Yes, here I've got my Luc Lambert Nebbiolo. I normally order this from another supplier, but maybe for some reason this week is only available via Imbibo. I could do it as well. But anyway, so we can see here that I can see the cost of the Chardonnay that I've set in the product. And we can see that this is for a box of 12 because I did say that this was purchased in boxes of 12. So I'm just going to tell the system that I want to order an extra 2 boxes. And we can see my stock on hand at the moment. I've got 5 bottles. Okay, so as I populate it here, it populates on the right. So I've got 2 Chardonnay bottle boxes of 12 for 480 all up. There's another number that is generated automatically. Delivery date. I could add a delivery note here as well if I wanted to. Let's say, go through the side door, please. Something like this. And save. And then when I'm ready, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on review order here. And I can see here the purchase order was created successfully. Now my next step will be, this is still a draft, as we can see here. I'm going to click on place order. Okay, now there's a couple different situations here. If you do your ordering through email or text or basically anything that is not an online portal, then you should go ahead and use what we're looking at right now, which is basically sending an email to your supplier. So by default, the subject will be purchased from and the name of your site, but you could change it if you wanted to. You will have the email address that you filled in into the supplier's details. You can change that on the spot. If for some reason, maybe someone is on leave and at the moment you're ordering through another rep, you have an opportunity to change everything here. It will come from your email address, CC, BCC. So you can send, if you send the email, the order will be sent to your supplier, and hopefully, if it's a good supplier, he will send you he will send you what you've ordered. If I normally order this wine through a supplier portal online, then that's fine. You don't have to send the email. So you can just close the window like I've just done, and your purchase order still has been created. So if I go back to orders here, I'm back into my purchase order screen, and we can see that, I might just zoom a bit. We can see that the purchase order is sitting here. It has been placed. If I had sent the email, there will be a little paper plane icon just next to placed, just so you know. Now let's say that we are a few days later on and the order has arrived. What I want to do to mark it as received, I'm gonna obviously go back into purchase and onto that screen, and I will click on this purchase order. And I can just click on start receiving. And here you've got an opportunity to update anything as well. So let's say if I click on the 2 Chardonnay bottles here, if for some reason he's only sent me 1, I can change that. And maybe the price has fluctuated a bit and or maybe I got a bit of a discount and I'm only paying 19.20 this week. I can change all of this and then apply the changes, and it updates everything. I can enter an invoice number, seeing that the delivery arrived with an invoice. So I can just enter this as well for my records. And then when I'm happy with everything, I can click on receive order. And that's that. So if I go back to orders here, we can see that it's now received. Therefore, my stock would have increased by the amount of Chardonnay that was on the order once I've updated it and I've clicked on receive. So it's really as simple as that. Then we got a few extra features here, order reminders. This allows you to just schedule reminders. So it's not gonna send the order for you, but it's just if you don't want to miss the cutoff or anything like this, I can go new reminder. And I know that, for instance, Bibendum, this supplier, the cutoff is Tuesday 1 p.m. So I want to email a reminder to my bar, for instance. That's my bar manager email address. The reminder name will be Bibendum order. Excuse me. And I want the reminder to be sent every Tuesdays at 10 a.m. So I'm sure that my bar manager will not miss the cutoff. And then I want this to be weekly, and I save this reminder. So once again, this will not send an order, it will just send a reminder. Another cool feature is the recurring orders one. This one will send the order. So let's go for Bibendum again. And let's say that for my house Pinot Noir, for instance, that comes in box of 6. I sell a lot of it. I need 10 boxes every week. So basically, we're building that order to be ready to be sent automatically. So 10 boxes. I'm not gonna bother with notes here. I'm just gonna go schedule, and I want to receive this every Monday. I want to send the order every Monday. Sorry, the order will be sent at 12 p.m. I can order. I can enter the email that it's going to here. Name of the order, intro, Pinot, order, weekly. Anyway, you can just really customize that the way you want. And basically, the purchase order will be automatically sent to your supplier every week. You could do 2 weeks, you can do 3 weeks. And as the system say here, don't worry, you will get a reminder an hour before it's sent. So this is just an opportunity to review it before you schedule it, and then you can save. But yeah, you will receive a reminder. So if for some reason you last week was extremely quiet and you don't need to order that much this week, you will get this reminder that will let you a chance to cancel this order before it gets sent. Power levels, that's pretty self-explanatory, but you can set power levels for your house wines, for instance. So let's go back to that Pinot Noir bottle. Let's say that my power level, like I always want to have 48 bottles in the venue. That's the minimum for me. That's my power level. And the way you can use those is just a handy thing that you have on hand when you create a purchase order. So let's say if I was to create one for this Pinot Noir, I can go purchase order, new order. I can't remember who I ordered this one from, but that's okay because I can pick any supplier and then search for a wine. So I'll go Pinot Noir, bottle, and see here we can see not only the stock we've got on hand at the moment, which is 35.8 bottles, but the power level as well. So it's easy for me to top up to par. In this instance, for instance, I would probably just only order, one dozen, I'll be just below, but they come in boxes of 6, so maybe I'll go 3 6-packs, and then that will bring me above my par. So that's how you can use the power levels in a very handy way. Finally, a couple more items, stock transfers. If you have several sites, you are able to transfer some stock items from one site to another. And the way you can do this is just click on new transfer. I only have one site here on my demo account, but if you had a couple, you will just see them here. You pick one site, you pick you select what you want to send, and then you just initiate the transfer. And then all you got to do is log into purchase in the receiving site and go into your stock transfers as well. And then you'll be able to mark the transfer as received. So basically, you just need to initiate it from one site, from purchase and then receive it from the other side, from the receiving side, from purchase as well. And finally, you've got a report category here that can give you a bit of data onto your purchasing habits. So you can just filter by time frame, and you can see the total order value, orders placed, order received, top 5 products, and all that stuff. Obviously, I don't have much data in there, if not any, but you will see as the more you use the module, the more you will be able to get some really insights onto your purchasing habits. Okay, now to circle back, we're gonna go back to the back office. And we are going to have a look at the inventory tab here on the left, because this is where everything happens in terms of stock counts, for instance. So when you click on inventory, you will land on your dashboard here. You will see your monthly inventory overview, the stock value purchased during the month, how much the value of the stock that you've consumed, so consumption through sales, but also wastage or used in batch when you make some batching, and also the sum of the cost of goods currently in stock, so today's stock value. You could see the deliveries due today as well, and the planned batch for today. So that's all linked to, this is linked to purchase, while this is linked to produce. Stock counts is where you will process your stock takes. I'll jump back to that just after. Stock locations is something we're going to have a look at as well. And stock on hand will show you the current value of your stock on hand. So basically, it calculates it from the last stock count, and then plus whatever you've marked as received, minus whatever you sold or wasted, or that was consumed through batching or recipes and etc. Stock locations is a really handy one that I want to go through. So let's I'm just going to delete mine here, and we can restart from scratch. Stock locations can make your life really easy when it comes to stock taking. And the way it works is that you can tell the system what you stock where. So let's say that in your venue, you have a cellar, we call it wine cellar, save and create another. We're just gonna do just a couple more, maybe the bar fridge, and maybe spirit cupboard. But you should list them all, basically. Every single location where I'm struggling to type this, but I'm getting there. Every single location, physical location, basically, where you store some stock should be created as a stock location. The next step is to tell the system what you stock in each location. So it's not about telling the system, this is how much wine I've got in the bar fridge, or this is like the quantity. It's more in the bar fridge, I stock this, that, and that, but I don't stock the rest. So the way you can do that, you can go view products, and here you will see all your products appearing, and you can assign. So let's say Chardonnay, my barrels of Chardonnay, I store them in the bar fridge, and let's say that's it. Then what about Pinot Noir? Pinot Noir, store it in the wine cellar. What else did I do? Spirit cupboard, so maybe we can go Tanqueray. It's stored in the spirit cupboard. And my Sipsmith gin as well. Okay, now if I go back to my locations, we can see how many products are assigned to each. And that's going to be really handy, because basically when you start to stock take, you can just stock take per location, and then you will, when you pick the location, you will only see what you store in there. So let's just demonstrate it. So let's say I'm ready to do my stock take. I'm going to go into stock count here, and I click into new stock count. And then I've got those options. I can count by location, which is what we've just had a look at. I can count by product tag. I don't know if you remember at the start of this video, we went through how to assign tags when you set up products, such as spirit stocks or wine stock, or you could count all products. So let's have a look at count by location first. I'll go next. I can select all locations or bar fridge, spirit cupboard, or wine cellar. So if I go all locations and start stock count, I will see them appearing here at the top. See bar fridge, spirit cupboard, wine cellar, and that's what I was talking about when I say that at least you only see what you store in this. So it makes it really handy. If you start by the bar fridge, you click on bar fridge, and you're gonna enter your items. So Chardonnay bottle, you can see the different packaging formats on the right. So maybe I've got one full box in there, but also an extra 3 bottles on the side, which give us, we can see that I'm counting 15, current quantity 17, probably because I already had 2 in stock. And then I'll click on save next item. Because I've got no other items in the bar fridge, this is bringing me to the next location, which is the spirit cupboard. If I don't have any, or for some reason I don't need to count this item, maybe I've put it in there, but in fact I don't store it in there, I can just click on don't count this item. It will skip to the next one. And then tank origin, let's say I've got 3 bottles here. I'll go save next item. And then my wine cellar, I've got, let's say 10 cases of Pinot plus 4 bottles, and I'll go save. Now, the system will ask me to review the stock count. It's reminding me that there are some products that have not been counted, like the Sipsmith, but that's fine. I did that on purpose. So I can click on review stock count. And here I've got a bit of a debrief before I submit. So that's great because it gives me an opportunity to recount, for instance. So I see my total variance, the total cost of variance, my total counted stock value. So here I see all the items that I've stock tagged: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, tank origin, cost price for each, quantity. This is the quantity that the system was expecting us to find, and counted is what we've counted. And then therefore you can see the variance here and the cost of variance. What's really handy is that you can sort. So you could sort by cost of variance, for instance, just to basically focus on what has the most impact on your stock take. You know, if the cost of variance is 5 cents, you might not want to spend too much energy and time recounting. But if it's costing you a lot, then you can click on recount and then go on, do the recount, and maybe update your quantity. So in fact, I was wrong. There was only 7 boxes. This is a bit more right, less variance. Now I'm happy with this. I can click on submit stock count. I can also give it a name. Submit. You get a last, confirmation. You just want to make sure that you're happy with that, because as soon as you submit it, then it becomes your stock holding on your stock take, and then the only opportunity for you to update this is to perform another stock take, so enter another stock count. Okay, and that's done. So then if I go back to, we go back to this stock counts menu, we can see that this one, test count, was entered on the 14th of July 2023 by Jean-Serge Basti, and we can see the counted value and the total variance. Now, if I wanted to look at by tags, I could go new stock count, count by product tag, and see I've got all those different tags that I've got sitting in my product list. So if I just want to stock take my spirits, and if I've tagged all my spirits with the tag spirit stock, I can just go spirit stock, start stock count, and I will only see the items that I've got that have this tag assigned to them. So that's another way of doing it. Up to you, whatever works the best. I do think that using either stock location or product tags are both really good ideas. rather than just going on and counting all your products at once. And that's it for inventory. I think we went through pretty much everything. Just for a bit of a recap, you just want to set up your product the right way first, your stock items. Make sure you do the unit of measurement well. Make sure that all the products that you stock are marked as a stock this item, and all the ones that you don't stock, such as the wine glasses or the nips of spirits and all that jazz, are marked as I do not stock, so they don't appear in any stock tech sheet. We've had a look at the produce module, which allows you to create recipes made to order or in batch, to record your batching. We've had a look at the purchase module as well. This one, just on a last note, as you enter your purchase orders, if you update the cost accordingly, so if there's any fluctuation and you change that on the purchase order, this is what will create this average cost price that we've seen at the start of the training in the product menu. So we really encourage you to do that, so you always get a more accurate cost of goods. And then we had a look at inventory and how to perform stock takes by using stock locations or product tags. And we had a bit of a look at the inventory dashboard and what you can find there, including the stock on hand, for instance. Any questions, any more? Yeah, if you get stuck, there's a few ways to reach out to us. If you click on help and support here on the bottom left, you have access to 24/7 support. I really encourage you to just use the live chat. It's got the fastest answering time. Yeah, they will escalate to my team if need be. But yeah, always feel free to reach out. Also, the knowledge base is great. If you click here, find more in knowledge base. You've got a whole category called inventory management, with all those articles, managing your inventory, purchase, advanced purchasing, produce, advanced recipes. So everything we just went through and more, you can find in those guides. So I really encourage you to have a bit of a browse whenever you need. Thank you very much.